Hello and welcome back. In the last tutorial I covered the alpha announcement, character creation, inventory management, shop and launching a mission. So I'm just going to go ahead and play the first mission now. Okay, so when you start the mission you'll be presented with some dialogue which will explain the context of the situation. To advance through the dialogue you click on the animated button in the bottom right of the dialogue box. Now here you'll have to make a choice as to what you want to do. Now saying that, there is no choice right now. This is something I've put in which it'll be filled in a little later. It'll allow you to do things like distract, demoralize or locate weaknesses in enemies based on skill and stat checks. So right now you can have any color that you want so long as it's black. So you pick refuse to leave and that will advance through the dialogue. And that's committed you to combat. Now to run through some of the basic things that are going on here, this is the queue which will determine the order in which characters get to act. Now the character with the larger portrait is you, and that means you're currently acting. Now you can also tell this is the case by the circling particle effect there, which shows the active character, and since it's green it's an allied character. Your action points are here. You currently have 7 action points. It costs 1 to move to a tile, and you can see here that hand-to-hand combat costs 3 AP and it makes a single attack X1. You can also go into the inventory screen. You can change which weapons you have equipped. I don't think there's currently a cost on it. There will be later on. And you can also pick up items on the ground. I'll cover that a little later. This is your character screen, and this is a button to end the turn when your action points have all been used. This shows your HP. And that's covered most of what's on the screen. I'll just go through the camera very quickly now. There's a couple of ways you can interact with the camera. You can move the mouse up to the top, the bottom, the left or right of the screen to move the camera in that direction. You can also use the WASD keys. Also you can use the mouse scroll wheel to zoom in or zoom out. And you can use Q or E to rotate the camera. Now I might change the increments at which the camera rotates later on. It's something I'll have a think about. Now you can see these directions here. It tells you what the camera controls are, and it also provides context for what the buttons do. So right mouse button attacks there. If you're not an enemy, it moves. You can also configure the controls. Press escape, options, go into key bindings, and this is all there is for now. I will add more key bindings in the future, so you can just click on one and change it if you want and then save the changes. You also adjust the volume. Now there will be game options here. There's nothing for the time being, so I'll just resume the game. Now it's perhaps worth mentioning these are actually hard coded in for now, so even if you change them they won't update. This will probably be removed later on, but I just thought I'd add it in for the alpha just to give a prompt. Now you have the tutorial here as well. So to cover choosing items, which items, you click on the left click on the selected item in the bottom left of the screen, and you can choose pistol or grenade. So I'll just show you how to use each one of these now. If we go for pistol, you'll draw it. And once again we can see here 4 AP, and that's a single shot. Now that will show you, it'll give you a 24% chance to hit. Now if you check the top left of the screen, you can see now that LMB or left mouse button changes the fire mode. So if you press left mouse button, you'll notice that in the bottom right of the screen it's changed to 5 AP and a little reticule has appeared. That means that you're going to make a aimed shot. And you'll effectively gain a chance to hit bonus. So to complete the attack you right click, and that's a miss. So I'm just going to move back a bit just to, it'll probably prevent them getting an attack in at me this turn. So now once my AP is used up, the enemy they get to move, and you can see the queue is changing. It's back to me again. To show you explosives. Now, you're currently in move mode, so that means that you can move around with the explosive equipped. And if you mouse over an enemy, it'll show you the chance to hit the enemy 39%. It'll show you the area of effect, which is the red semisphere. But you'll notice that if you mouse over a tile that there isn't a character in, it will not allow you to target that tile. To change that, you want to move into throw mode, which is one of these icons down the bottom, and that will constantly keep you, it will show you the chance hit and the effect area for each tile, regardless if there's an enemy in it or not. So I'm just going to switch out of that. And also you have the, as you can see there, you have the option to change to a named throw as well if you want. I'm just going to change back to put the pin in the grenade and change back to hand-to-hand combat. You'll notice the AP in the bottom. It red is 1 that's used. Now, while I haven't used any AP this turn, 7 is the maximum AP I have, and 6 is the amount of AP I get every turn. So I haven't. If I had 1 AP, they'd all be filled now. So red shows used AP. Yellow shows AP that will be used by the current action. So attacking this guy with hand-to-hand combat at 3 AP will use up 3 of the remaining 6 AP. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Got a 73% chance to hit there, which is quite decent. So that's used up my all my AP for the turn. So I'm just going to end the turn now. Okay, that's back to me now, and once again I can make 2 attacks. And that's 1 on down. You can see the close combat has increased there. Now I have no AP left, so I'm just going to end this turn. Okay, and to show you something else that's maybe useful, I'm going to drag in a trauma kit into my equipped items. Now it doesn't cost any AP yet, it will in the final game. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to select the trauma kit. So now if I mouse over the character, you can see there's a 100% chance to heal this character. So if I right click, he'll patch himself up. And I'm going to go back to just melee combat against this character now. And she's healing as well, so it's going to take another couple of attacks to... And once again you can see close combat has increased, so that'll probably slightly increase the damage and the chance to hit. You can notice now it's 76, so you can level up very incrementally in the game. Okay. And that's that. Now if the character doesn't actually have any loot to drop, it will auto loot any cash they have. And we have the end of mission dialogue here, so we just need to click through that. There's no choices here, it's just a little background info on what in this character doc. Now if we get to looting, now you might remember this character has she healed, so the only item she had was a healing kit, so you auto looted the 27 euros. this character didn't heal, so we can expect to find a healing kit here. So we just move over the tile that the backpack has been dropped on. We go to inventory, and you notice on the ground we have one trauma kit. We can just drag that into our equipped slot, and that's pretty much that. Possibly another thing is worth just covering briefly is cover. Cover is only relevant from ranged fire, and you can notice the icon there shows full cover, so that means the character has solid and cover, which is covering most of their body from ranged attacks from this direction. If you notice here, that's half cover. It'll give you a little protection, but not really that much. You can also crouch. Now you can't crouch here. If you are beside full cover, which you are here, you can't crouch because you're already benefiting. You already get the crouch bonus from attacks in this direction from any other direction, and you get full cover protection from this direction. So you can't crouch. That is something I may look into later. I'll just have to see what the best way to work with that is. It's also worth mentioning that cover is directional. So if, let's just say that you're in cover here and there's an enemy here, it will be harder for them to hit you from here than it will be from here, because they're starting to work around the cover then towards flanking. So this is incremental. It'll get easier to hit. It'll be easier to hit from here than it will be from here. And I think that's pretty much everything that I need to cover. From there, all you need to do once the mission is complete and you've picked up any loot, I will look into auto looting later on. You just press exit area, and that's that. You're back to the home screen then, where you notice you've got a bit of level up in your character here, not enough for a whole level. These skills have all increased. You've got a couple of extra items. And from there you can just go on into the second mission. And also it's worth mentioning the levels. You can replay them if you want to level up your character a bit. So that's pretty much all for now, and hopefully I'll be making an update. I'd say I guess probably hopefully in the next 2 to 3 weeks. It might take a little longer this time, because there'll be a little more work in terms of just getting the launch working. But that's pretty much it, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the game.